Hey guys, and welcome back to another Coffee Corner with Bill and
Coffee
Ray.
Corner. Hey,
So Ray, how's it going?
it's good. How are you?
Good, good. Maybe we should explain to everybody what's going on here. So me and Ray are kind of different states right now, kind of working out of town, but I couldn't pass up the chance to talk about Top Gun.
Nope.
So how many times have you seen it now?
Seen it twice.
Very excited to talk about this movie. I had to talk about this movie even if it was from far away, just to kind of go over it. It's a great film. I don't know what else to say about it. It's probably the best movie I've seen in a long while. Besides
Yeah.
your, superhero films.
Yeah. So, being a non-superhero film, it is a really great film, and it's rare that you get that kind of feeling from a film. So,
Go ahead.
talk to me, Goose.
Talk to me. So, let's go back to the original film.
I'm sorry, what?
So let's go back to wow, really? Where did you get that from?
I got it on Amazon, dude. They had a lightning deal,
What?
and I was like, holy crap. I'm so
Dude,
buying that.
Yes, that is amazing.
So this is why you're Goose right here, buddy.
Dang.
This drink is for you. Yeah, let's go over the original.
Yeah, let's go over some key moments or things that a lot of people can remember from the first film. You've lost that love and feeling.
Yep.
That's one everybody knows.
It's a good
Everybody
scene.
should know.
When I saw it as a kid, I was 9 years old, and I was like, holy crap, this is how you get a girl. You get your buddies together, you sing to her, and you serenade her, and it's like, boom, instant girlfriend. But that's not
That's
how
not
it works.
how it works. Yeah,
No.
that's not how it works. Okay, so let's talk about the volleyball scene.
Yeah, good scene.
I thought it was kind of cool. The song was pretty cool.
So the rivalry between Iceman and Maverick, that was one of the awesome things about the original Top Gun, is that you had these two great fighter pilots going head to head, and at the end of the day, it's like Iceman was the one that came out on top.
Well, even how arrogant he was, you kind of liked Iceman.
Yeah, Iceman was
Even
cool.
though you were pulling for Maverick the whole
Mhm.
movie, but you did kind of like Iceman. He still had a likable presence in the movie.
Yeah, he was dangerous.
No, that was Maverick. Maverick's
Both
dangerous.
dangerous, yeah.
They were both dangerous.
Yeah.
But
No, actually, it was Maverick that was dangerous.
what about the death of Goose?
But the
How do you feel on
Goose,
that?
That's a very tough scene.
I don't feel that he was at fault, in my opinion.
I don't think
I
he was at
just
fault
a
either.
It was just a weird situation they were in.
Yeah, I've watched it many times,
Mhm.
and he ejects. And
It hits the canopy.
yeah,
Mhm.
and it just seems like it was nothing anyone could have prevented.
In the situation they were in, I mean, could you blame Goose for pulling it and just trying to get out? He
You
had
know who I
Goose-
blame?
Hmm.
I blame Iceman.
I was just about to say that. He got caught up in his exhaust.
Yeah,
Put them
Maverick
in-
told him, I have the shot.
Yes, let me take it, but there were
Break.
two.
He's like, break right. I have the shot. I can take it. He's like, no,
But
just
the
give.
rivalry there,
Yeah,
yeah, one wants to outdo the other. Maverick could have held off,
mm-hmm.
but then again, Iceman could have hurried up and took the shot.
Iceman didn't have a shot. He should have just
you
cleared
had
out.
you had two egos going against each other. So technically, I mean, maybe, that part, maybe, they're both at fault there.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick released May 27, 2022. It was directed by Joseph Kosinski, and it was a sequel to Top Gun released in 1986. That's a very long time ago. Well, this is now, 36 years after the original. Tom Cruise reprises his role as Maverick. Pete Mitchell. Maverick returns to fighter weapons school. The Flyers call it Top Gun. Development actually started from this movie back in 2010, so if that tells you anything, it's been a very long time for this movie to come out. It was supposed to be released in July of 2019, and it wasn't released until May 27th of 2022. And was it worth the wait? I believe so.
Definitely.
A lot of the delays were due to some refilming and obviously COVID-19. So Ray here was able to see the film on release date and a second time. I've also seen the film, and I am super excited to discuss it today.
Let's discuss it.
So Ray, what was your initial thought when going to see the film? Did you have any expectations from like the previous film?
No, I've learned to keep expectations low, especially with these movies that are being rebooted, sequel, prequel, requel, I think, was the latest term that Scream
Requel.
used. Yes, a reboot sequel.
No, that's one I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, so I didn't have any expectations. I try to keep them low, but Tom Cruise is one of the greatest action stars of our time, so I figured it was going to be a good movie either way, but I just wasn't exactly sure what to expect. The beginning of the movie, I love it, how he's still a captain, and he gets a phone call, he has to go to a base, and they're like, hey, they're about to shut us down. They want Mach 10. He's like, well, today was Mach 9. He's like, well, he's not here now, let's give him Mach 10. And then he does his...
rules as always.
Yep. Does his little training montage, and Hondo's trying to tell him, hey, Mach 10, dude. Mach 10-1.
10-1, not 10-2.
10-2,
yeah.
But 10. So he's like, I like that look.
It's the only look I got.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
As soon as that scene happened, I'm like, I'm sold. This movie's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And from there, it just got better and better. The scene when he's traveling in the jet, that was really cool. I kind of got like a sci-fi feeling. And that's, one of the cool things about this movie is that at the end of the movie, it kind of gave you a taste of everything. And then when he crashes the plane and ends in that little small town, and he's like, hey,
that's still
where am
funny.
Yeah, he's like, Earth. That was a good scene. After that, I was like, okay, I'm ready. This is going to be a good movie. So yeah, Admiral Kane wants to ground him, but of course, Iceman sends him to Top Gun to be an instructor.
From the opening of this movie, like, immediately you connect with Maverick. And what I thought was so awesome was being able to know that Iceman is in the film. I wasn't even sure if he was coming back. Like, I love Val Kilmer, so being able to know that he was actually back in the film was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, that was a really nice scene. Initially, I know there was talks of them not including Iceman in the film, and I was like, okay, if Iceman's not in the film, not a big deal. Yeah, Tom Cruise really pushed for him, and the scene worked. It's a really great scene for the movie, and it kind of like ties the entire movie in together. It helps that story big time, and it actually is a big element of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way they tied in like what he's actually going through in real life into his character. I did find out that they used his son, who apparently sounds oddly enough like him, to record the scenes of his voice.
Yeah, it was a very powerful scene. It wasn't sad per se, but it was a heartwarming moment. Maverick arrives at Top Gun, ends up at the bar, meets his pilots without them knowing. He has a mission. Meets his love interest. That was cool. His orders are to have the best pilots to bomb an unnamed country. So the foreign country to have a uranium plant, and his orders are to get the pilots to go in there and blow up the plant, which of course is impossible because it's heavily guarded with a bunch of surface-to-air missiles and fighter jets that are very advanced.
Yeah, so this leaves Maverick in charge of trying to find the best course of action to take out this uranium plant. He decides there should be 2 groups of F-A-18 Super Hornets. Unfortunately, this will take some extreme maneuvers, low-level flying through a canyon just below the SAMs, and then possible dogfight once they get out after the bombing, and trying to get away from the SAMs because they'll actually be on radar now.
So that pretty much sums up the movie for Top Gun Maverick. But there was a lot of other moments that were really great about the movie. All right, so what'd you think about Rooster?
Rooster was pretty cool. He looked a lot like Anthony Edwards, I thought.
Yeah, especially with the stash, dude. He was rocking that stash.
The stash really got it. And I thought it was kind of funny how his dad was Goose and he's Rooster. It's like he's still speaking with birds.
Yeah, Miles Teller purposely picked that name. I think they were able to pick their own call names, and he's like, Goose, Rooster, same family.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
One of the things that the director said was that this is a newer movie. We can't bring every piece of the original movie into this one. It's a new chapter. We have to move on. We have to go forward, and I appreciated that.
What was so cool was I love the Top Gun theme. So just hearing it at the beginning of the film, and then you get right into the danger zone, and I love that song. Yeah. You get pumped up for the movie immediately.
Oh yeah, when that song comes on, I drive like 90 miles down the freeway when that song comes on, dude. It's a movie for 2 different audiences. people from the 80s and then your newer generation, and it has to be able to continue on.
Yeah, and the new characters they introduced, I thought those were pretty cool. All the different pilots that they brought in worked pretty well.
Pilots were awesome. I really liked Miles Teller as Rooster. Hangman was freaking cool.
Hangman reminded me of Iceman in like today's time, and Bob was funny just because his name was Bob. Like,
Yeah, Bob was just there.
Never even heard a call sign like Bob.
And then later on, he was like, "Oh, I know what it stands for, baby on board."
Baby on board.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. So we also lose Iceman during the film, unfortunately. It's really never spoken of that he has cancer, but kind of given how they tied what's really going on with Val Kilmer into the film, I thought that was pretty genius.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I don't know whose part that was on, if it was the director's or Tom Cruise, but it just helped the film so much. So yeah, with Iceman passing, it really worked a lot into the story, more than I expected, because you come to realize that Iceman was his protector all throughout his naval career. Now that Iceman has passed, they're done with Maverick. They want him gone.
Yeah, they try to pull him out immediately.
Yeah.
John Hamm's character, Vice Admiral Simpson, tries to basically ground him and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to take over."
So Maverick, in Maverick fashion, steals a plane, flies the training course, and shows that it can be done in less time than what he's actually expecting out of his pilots.
Yeah, because Admiral Simpson decides to go ahead and increase the time, thinking that would help, but that's going to actually put them in more danger once they actually bomb.
Yeah, doesn't he say like, well, 4 minutes, and
yes,
everyone's like, dude, bro, what? No.
And then that changes the whole entire thing. Now they want to make him the strike leader to actually do the job and then take a few people with him. So the flight scenes, once you actually get to the part of the movie where they're actually going to do the mission, and Rooster is part of this, as soon as they hit the canyon, actually even before they hit the canyon, just that scene where they're flying at low level, just below radar, just above the trees, just above the water that's kind of frozen in some of those areas, and they hit the canyon, and now they're like full speed, going left and right, and they're pulling G's, and it looks so, the way they filmed it just looks so realistic, which a lot of it was.
Yeah.
I mean, my hands were getting like sweaty. Like I was so nervous for what was going on. It was a very intense scene. I thought it was.
So once the mission is finished and they're trying to pull away, once they're above radar level, the SAMs launch and they're having to scatter, deploying flares, and it was a pretty intense scene. So Maverick saves Rooster, which ends up costing him his plane, and they're ordered to come back to base, and we see Maverick on the ground in enemy territory, and from that point I was like, wow, is this behind enemy lines? I was like, what's going on here? I was like, so Rooster ends up coming back, saving his life. Maverick gets mad. Like, why'd you do that?
Funny.
Yeah, like, you told me not to think. And then people are saying that as soon as they go back to the base, we're looking at Iron Eagle. Now we're in Iron Eagle territory.
Yeah, so I did get a feeling of that when they went back to the base and they found the one hangar that I guess that wasn't destroyed with an F-14. A call back to Top Gun, the original, where he flew the F-14. So
Iran actually has F-14s. I believe there's only 2 Middle East countries that have F-14s, and I think Iran is one of them. So all the fingers are kind of pointing towards Iran, but Iran is the one with the Iranian base.
Yeah, but they never. I like that they never really say who the foreign country is.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Not like back in the 80s where you could, everybody was.
It was Russia.
Yes, it was always the Soviet Union, right?
So Maverick, Rooster, and the F-14 trying to get away. They're confronted by the 2 5th-gen fighters that are out there. And it's not about the plane, it's about the pilot. And I was like, yeah.
I still believe in that. I believe that is correct.
Maverick was able to take up 2 5th-gen planes, and it was somewhat believable that he was able to do it the way they crafted that scene. It worked very well.
And then Hangman shows up.
That was awesome.
Saves the day. Yeah. One thing we forgot to mention, Ray, was that during the takeoff in the F-14, he did lose the front landing gear.
Yeah.
So now having to land on the aircraft carrier in an emergency situation, that was actually pretty cool to see. That was a little intense.
Yeah, with the safety net. The only thing this movie didn't have was a flyby.
Oh, it didn't. That's right.
I thought he was going to do a flyby when he was coming back from the mission. But he just kind of flew past it, but he didn't do his flyby. I was a little disappointed.
He didn't do the normal Buzz the Tower thing.
Yeah, I wanted to see,
Yeah. The coffee spill. Yeah. That would have actually been pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looked like Rooster and Hangman kind of, I guess, connected there at the end. Kind of like Iceman and Maverick in the first one.
Yeah, Maverick, Rooster reconciled their differences.
Maverick's back at his hangar working on his plane, and then you see Rooster come up, kind of helping him out, working on the engine.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see Rooster put a photo of him and Maverick now up on the wall where Maverick has all those pictures of him and Goose.
Yeah, and maybe Maverick has his happy ending now with the Admiral's daughter this time.
So overall, perfect film.
10 out of 10.
I will as well. I believe it is a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. Definitely well worth the wait for 36 years. All right, guys, so that was our take on Top Gun Maverick. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of the film, if you agree with our rating of 10 out of 10. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Later.